Hi, I'm Malar from IBM India Software Labs. In this presentation, I'm going to give a broad overview of IBM Web Content Manager. This is the agenda of the presentation. I will talk about the architecture of WCM, the components of a web page, authoring, rendering, workflow, multilingual capabilities in WCM, syndication, site builder, WebRadar, and CTC. A web content management system is a software system that provides website authoring, collaboration, and administration tools. By using WCM, a user can rapidly build a website by using the reusable components and templates. It allows content authors with little knowledge of programming and markup skills to easily create and manage a website. Internally, WCM uses a content repository to store the page content, metadata, and other assets that are needed by the system. In WCM, there is a clean segregation of content and presentation. Also, we can integrate WCM with other content management systems like IBM FileNet, Documentum, Microsoft SharePoint. And also, we can integrate with other social media software like IBM Connections, Facebook, SameTime, Twitter, LinkedIn. Thereby, it provides a dynamic content delivery. It also improves the customer experience by using the personalization component. Here is a high-level overview of the architecture for WCM. So you can see that Portal and WCM are installed on top of WebSphere application server. Also you can see that a site visitor can access WCM content server by using the WCM remote web content viewer portlet, WCM rendering servlet, and WCM local web content viewer portlet. The request is made through the WCM public API. Also, a content author can author the content by using an authoring portlet. WCM uses WebSphere member manager to store the user registry information. Also, WCM uses a content repository to store the data in its database. Also, integration with portal personalization and portal search engine components are possible. Here is the overview of a web page that is developed with IBM Web Content Manager. It shows a clear separation of content and presentation. The authoring template defines how the content is structured in terms of identification, profile, workflow, access control, and the type of the content elements. Based on the definition, a presentation template will define how the elements has to appear in a web page. A presentation template contains the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and WCM tags. Also, you can create reusable components for your website. For example, components like the company logo, which is an image component, and then a breadcrumb navigator. So these components will keep repeating in every page. So you can create a component once and then you can refer it in a presentation template. By combining the authoring template and presentation template, a web page is getting created. There are three important portlets: authoring, rendering, and administration portlet. An administration portlet is accessible only to a portal admin. A portal admin can create pages, install WAR files, portlets. He can give permission to users. And also you can see the version of a portal in the administration portlet. All the admin functions are defined here. A content author uses the authoring portlet to author the content. The job of a content author is to author the content, and he doesn't focus on the design and layout. A content designer will create all the artifacts that are required for a content author. Now let's log into portal and see the authoring portlet. I am logging into portal as portal administrator. Here you can see the wrench icon. This is the administration portlet. Here an administrator can create pages, he can install some modules, he can provide access control for some of the libraries. Also you can see the version of portal. Let's create a web content library. A web content library is a folder that can store the artifacts that are needed for your website. I am choosing the language as English. WCM also supports multiple languages and regions. I am also selecting include default items in the new library, and this will create a default site area and some of the workflows in my library. The library is created. Now I am going to the authoring portlet. You have to click on the open applications menu and then click on content. This is the authoring portlet. Go to preferences and click on edit chat setting. I am going to include the library that I have created. You have to select the library so that it appears in the Library Explorer. So now the library I have created is appearing in the Library Explorer. I am clicking on that. Here you can see that there are several item types like content, categories, components, authoring template, presentation template, and workflow items. In WCM we have 6 item types. A site area is the sitemap for a website. It provides the hierarchical structure for the website. It means the data in WCM is stored as a tree structure. A site area can contain many more site areas and content. A content is a leaf node, so it will not have any children. This is a digital insurance website. Here you can see that product, claims, resources, learning, communities, about us. These are all site areas that contains the content for your website. So when I click on product, it displays the page, and the page is again displaying the products for the insurance website. Now let's see how the content is stored in WCM for this digital insurance website. So I am going to the authoring portlet. I am opening the Library Explorer. This is the library for the digital insurance website. So under content, there is again a site area called digital insurance. I am clicking on that. So you can see that the site areas protect what we saw here. Product, claims, resources, learning, communities, about us. These are stored in WCM as a site area. So now let's go to protect. It again has many more site areas and content. So the page which we saw when we click on protect, so that is the default content for the site area. So I am clicking on the bank product index. This is the content. The content is a leaf node and it will not have any children. So whatever it is showing here, it is displaying here our products that is appearing from this content. By using categories and taxonomies, you can profile a WCM content. For example, in your website, if you have content that is going to talk about the different cities in India, for example, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, these are different cities in India, then you can profile a content by using a taxonomy India and by using a category as a city name. So when you profile or tag a content with that category India/Bangalore, then it is easy for you to later on pick up all the content that belongs to a particular profile or a category. Components are reusable elements that are used in more than one place in your website, such as the company logo or a breadcrumb navigator. So you can create a component once and then you can reuse that component in your presentation template. So wherever you refer the component, then the component appears in that page. The authoring templates are used to define the fields and elements that your content creators use when they create content for your website. Let's create a site area. You can also select the content that you want to include when someone clicks on that site area. So first I'm going to create a site area and then I'm going to create a content. So when I save the site area, it is showing a message that it needs a default content but no content is specified. This is just a warning message, you can ignore that. Now I am going to create a authoring template. So when I was creating a site area, you would have noticed that I have selected a default site area template. You can also have a template for your site area. So I am going to create a authoring template by using the default content template. So I have selected the location as demo test, the library name. Under default content properties, you can select a workflow. I am selecting the workflow as a 3-stage workflow. When I was creating a library, I have selected some default content. So the express workflow and 3-stage workflow was included. Those are the default workflow that got included in the library when I was creating the library. So I am selecting a 3-stage workflow. This is the stages in the workflow are draft, published and then expired. You can see that the current workflow stage is draft and the next workflow stage is publish. Third workflow stage is expired. Now I am going to define a structure for my web page. I am selecting a text field. And then I am selecting a rich text field. And then I am going to select a component reference. So in my web page, I have added 3 fields, a text field, a rich text field and then a component reference. So if you see here, I can also add many more elements of type date time. A component reference is going to include a component. So I need to first create a component and then I can refer the component here. Also I can include a date time, a file. File means I can upload a file resource. HTML, in the HTML field, if the element type is HTML, then I can put some HTML tags there. I can also include an image there or I can give some JSP tags there. I can create a link element, an anchor element. I can also specify a number field. So it will not accept any string or characters in that field. Also I can have an option selection. So I can have a radio button, a combo box, with multiple selections. And then I can also have a user selection that will display the users of your website. These are the different element types. Also in the authoring template, I can profile. I can include some categories here. I can also define the access control. The user permissions I can define here. So now I have created an authoring template. Now let's create a component. So in my authoring template, I have defined a component reference. So I have to specify a component there. I am going to create a component of type image. Here you can see that the component, I can create a authoring tools, which is an inline component, editing component. I will be covering later in the session. And also I can create a component of type component reference, datetime, file, HTML, image, JSP, link, list presentation, menu component, personalization component, username, user selection, taxonomy component I can create. So now I am going to select an image component. So location, you can also specify other locations. I am selecting the default library name. It is the demo test. I am going to upload an image here. I can also specify the image attributes. I have uploaded an image tulips. I am giving an image border and then I am giving the width and height. And then a tooltip I am giving here. Also you can notice that there is a rendition. So here I can specify how it will appear for a desktop or for a tablet or for a smartphone. By default it's desktop. So I am saving the image component. So now we have created a library and then we have created a site area in that. Also we have created an authoring template and also we have created a image component. Now let's create a presentation template. So the presentation template, you can specify HTML, CSS, JavaScript or WCM tags there. So in the presentation template, I can select from the authoring template what are the elements it has to appear. And also I can specify some styling there, whether it has to be italic, bold. So the layout, I can specify the layout here. So now in my authoring template, I have defined three elements, a text, a rich text and then a component reference. I am going to include all the three elements in my presentation template. So an authoring template can have 50 fields, but a presentation template can control whether your web page should display all the 50 fields, the order of the elements should display, or it can display only some of the elements. So now I am going to display all the elements. So I have specified the authoring template and then it is picking all the elements from the authoring template and then it is displaying here. So an authoring template can have a different presentation template also. One authoring template can have multiple presentation templates, but you need to specify which authoring template and which presentation template it has to choose. The page has to choose. So now next I am going to define the authoring template and the presentation template mapping in my site area. So I am editing the site area and then I am going to specify the ATPT mapping. I I'm selecting the authoring template and then the presentation template. And then I'm saving my site area. So still I haven't created a content, so it is giving me a warning here. I'm going inside my site area and I'm going to create a content. I'm selecting the created demo AT authoring template. So you can notice that for a rich text element, we are getting an editor. So in WCM, there are three editors: CK editor, epox editor, and textbox.io editor. CK editor is the default editor. If you want to change the editor to other advanced editors like epox or textbox.io, you can choose that. So these are called as VCVic editor. It means what you see is what you get. So whatever we type here, we can also preview how it will appear in the VCVic editor. Also, I am selecting the component reference. So I am selecting the component, the company logo I have created. Now that I have specified the value for my content, for the text field, the rich text field, and the component reference, next I am going to save the content. So while creating the authoring template, we specified a workflow as a 3-stage workflow. So when I first create a content, the content will enter into a draft state. Since I have logged in with an administrator, I can move the content to publish stage, the next stage. I am moving the content from draft stage to publish stage so that the content can get published in a web page. So I can also preview the content. When I click on preview button, you can see that it displays the title, the rich text, the rich text, and then the image component which I have selected. So here you can notice that when I preview the content, it is using a connect URL. So this is called as a connect servlet. So when the page is getting rendered, it selected the presentation template for the authoring template, and then it combined that AT and the PT, and then the content got displayed. So this rendering is by using the WCM rendering servlet, which is the connect servlet. Next, I will show you how to render this content by using a portlet. So I'm going to the home page, and then I'm going to turn the edit mode as on. So by default, this mode is inactive. I need to click on the mode to get it activated. When I click on this mode, I can author a content. I can author a page. So when I clicked on this mode, you can see that I am provided with a site manager. So next I am going to create a page for my website. So under home, I am creating a page, a sibling page for welcome. That is demo page. So it is selecting the default Portal 8.5 theme, and then I am creating the page. You can see that the page is created, but there is no content. Now let's add some content here. under applications, I am going to choose a portlet called Web Content Viewer Portlet. So I was talking about three important portlets in WCM: the administration portlet, the authoring portlet, and then the Web Content Viewer Portlet. This is the Web Content Viewer Portlet. So to display content, I need to add this portlet to a page. So I'm selecting the Web Content Viewer Portlet and then I'm adding it to a page. Now we have added a Web Content Viewer Portlet to a page. The next step is to display the created content in this portlet. So I'm clicking on Edit Chat Settings and then under Content, I'm choosing the content, what I have created from my library, demo. I'm going to the library demo test. I'm going to the site area demo essay and then I'm selecting the content. Note that only published content can be added to a page. So if my content is in draft stage, it won't get displayed here. Since my content is published, I'm able to see the content here. I'm adding the demo content. Also, if I want, I can select the presentation template here. But I want to go ahead with the default presentation template, what I have created. And then I'm saying apply. OK. So you can see that after choosing the content is getting displayed in a web page. So what I have done so far is I have created a page by turning on the edit mode on, and then I have selected the application Web Content Viewer by clicking on this plus icon. And after adding that Web Content Viewer portlet to a page, I went to that edit chat setting and then I added a content there. Now let's add one more content here. So I'm going to the page and then I'm clicking on open page settings. So because I want to add one more content here, so I need to select the layout. I'm going to the layout and then I'm selecting the different layouts. I'm selecting 2-column equal layout. Also you can see that here you can select the style here. The default is with the blue border. So if you want, you can change the style here. So I'm selecting it as green. So you can see that it is changed to green. So I made it as 2-column layout. Now I want to add one more portlet to this column. So I'm clicking on this add page and components. Go to the applications tab and then select the Web Content Viewer portlet and say add to page. So what we have done is we went to that open page settings and then we selected the layout as 2-column equal layout and then we changed the style and then I added one more Web Content Viewer portlet to my page. Next I want to display a different content here. So I'm clicking on this edit chat settings and then I'm going to select another content. That is the default content that got created when I was creating the library. I'm selecting articles and then I'm selecting sample article. So now my web page is displaying two contents. This is the content which I have created, and this is a sample article. So now when I turn on the edit mode on, so you can see that I'm able to change the title directly here. So this is called as in-place editing. So this is called as in-place editing. So how it is coming as an editable field. So we will see that one. So for that I am going to the authoring template. I am going to the site area articles, and then I am going to the content sample article, which I have renamed as sample article test, and then I am going to observe the presentation template. So here you can see that the presentation template has WCM tags called as editable property and editable element. So when I make the field as editable property or editable element, it automatically makes those fields as in-place editing, so that the content author can easily turn the edit mode on, and he can directly go to the page and he can edit the title, or he can change the field or the property names there. Also you can see that in the presentation template we have included a component called article toolbar. So let's analyze that. So this article toolbars is a authoring tools component, and it has a new action and an edit action. So this will include two links, new and edit. So when I go to the page, you can see that there are two links here, new and edit. So when I click on it, it automatically opens the authoring portlet, and then I'm able to make changes to it. This is called as authoring tool. And this way of editing is called as inline editing. So you can see that whatever text I have added, it is automatically appearing here. So there are two types of editing called as inline editing. When you click on the links, you will get that authoring portlet, and this you can create by using the authoring tools component. And there is another editing that is called as in-place editing, and that can be done by turning on the edit mode on, and then by using the WCM tag editable property and editable element in my presentation template. In the demo, we saw two types of editing, that is in-place editing and inline editing. You will get in-place editing only in a web content viewer portlet by clicking the edit mode on. Also, the WCWig editor is available only for rich text and HTML fields. By using authoring tools component, a user can perform an inline editing. The authoring tools component provides new, edit, delete, approve, reject functionality. Approve and reject functionality is needed when you create a content and the content has a workflow. And in the workflow stage, there is approval and publish stage. So when the content When the content author submits the content for approval, then you may need approve or reject buttons. This is for the content approver to either approve or reject the content. Using personalization component, you can deliver personalized content dynamically for specific user. The personalization component selects content based on the rules that is defined between user metadata and content metadata. The display of content is based on predefined rules. Say for example, you want to display a personalized time zone information for the user based on his geography, and also you want to display the local news that is happening in the region, then you can do that by using the personalization component. Also, when a user of high profile logs in, then you want to show him some discounts. These customizations are possible only by using the personalization component. So when you create a personalization component in the WCM authoring portlet, you need to define a personalization rule, and based on the rule, you can create some customized, you can display customized content for specific users. So far we have seen the authoring capabilities of WCM. Now we will see the rendering capabilities of WCM. There are three types of content delivery, that is servlet rendered, portlet rendered and pre-rendered delivery. Servlet delivered website is used when you preview a content. So whenever in the authoring portlet you click on the preview button, the page that is getting displayed is using a WCM Connect servlet. That is servlet based delivery. Portlet based delivery is using the WCM Web Content Viewer portlet. So by using that, you can display a content or a component in a web page. The pre-rendered delivery is useful for customers who has static content. For those customers, the content gets changed periodically. WCM provides the way to output the static HTML files and resources by applying the AT and PT mapping, and then you can copy the static HTML files to customer's rendering server. Since the files are static, we can use a web server instead of a portal server. It is possible to access WCM by using a REST API. This is particularly useful when an external application wants to access WCM. You can perform CRUD operations, that is create, retrieve, update, delete of WCM content by using the REST API. The REST API outputs the data in two formats, that is XML or JSON. A workflow controls the lifecycle management of a content. A content goes through several states like draft, published, expired, pending published and pending expired. Changes to WCM items are managed by a workflow. A workflow is basically a collection of stages, and a stage is again a collection of actions. Say for example, you have a workflow that has the stages draft, approval and published. And in the approval stage, you have an action email. So whenever a content author submits a content for approval, an email notification is sent to an approver. Then the content approver can either approve the content or reject a content. When the content gets approved, then the content changes its status to published state. When the content gets rejected, then the content again goes through the draft state. The content author has to modify the changes. Again, he has to approve. He has to submit the content for approval. This is how the workflow works in WCM. You can also define a security in each stage of the workflow. Now we will see the steps that are generally needed for building a website in WCM. You need to create a library, you you need to create a site area, authoring template, presentation template. You have to define the authoring template, presentation template mapping in a site area. You have to import images. You need to create taxonomies, categories. Also, you have to create reusable components. Then you need to update the presentation template with those components. You have to create content. You need to develop some workflows and refer those workflows in an authoring template. And by using the authoring template, you have to create new content. And then finally, you create a page template and pages. And then you configure a page to use a web content viewer portlet. And then you configure the web content viewer portlet to display a content. These are the general steps for building a website in WCM. Now we will see the multilingual capabilities in WCM. WCM supports different languages and regions. This is how MLS works in WCM. You need to configure a library for your base language, that is the English language, and then you need to create different libraries for different languages and locales. Then you can specify how the translation has to happen, whether it should happen in a synchronous way or asynchronous way. In a synchronous way, you need to configure the authoring template to use MLS workflow, so that whenever a content author creates the content in English language, then the content gets automatically copied to other languages and other regions in English. Authoring portlet, there is a translation section. In the translation section, you can see that there are two buttons, copy and link. In an asynchronous way, the content author has to manually click on that copy or link to other libraries. So now we will see the syndication. Syndication is used to replicate WCM data between two servers. Say for example, you have an environment where there is a development server, a staging server, and then there is a production server. In staging server, you have tested WCM and it is working fine. Now you want to replicate the data from staging server to production server. Then you can use syndication process. So here the staging server is the syndicator and production server is the subscriber. Syndication is performed on a library basis. The first time syndication rebuilds the library data in a subscriber. Once it is rebuilt, whatever changes that has happened in the syndicator can be either automatically or manually updated in the subscriber. Epox WebRadar is a third-party tool which is a free software available from Lotus Greenhouse catalog. It is a tool which gives some analytic and reports about WCM data. This tool can provide a list of all expired content, the content authored by a specific user, the content whose published date, expiry date not set, etc. You can also create customized dashboard and monitor the reports which you are interested in. Also, you can perform a batch edit based on the content fetched and update all of them in one shot. It is also possible to schedule a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly time-based report, and users can subscribe to those reports. You can also send the report to your email ID. You can generate a bar chart, pie chart. This tool is an excellent tool for an administrator or a support person who is monitoring and maintaining the WCM application. Site Builder is another tool that is used to create site templates and section templates. You need to install Content Template Catalog for using the Site Builder tool. By using the templates, you can build a website faster within few minutes. Site Builder has predefined templates like Internet template, Intranet template. Also, the site built using Site Builder can interact socially with Facebook, Twitter. Also, it is possible to tag and rate a content. By using the Content Template Catalog, you can easily build a website within minutes. You can create templates and you can use the template to build a website. You can also easily extend your website. You can build a complete proof of concept in front of a customer. CTC is freely downloadable from Lotus Greenhouse. CTC has a suite of pre-configured and pre-wired pages, components and portlets. Now I will show you how to create a website by using the site builder. Log into portal. Open the applications menu and then go to site builder. Select an intranet site template. You need to provide a intranet site name. A site title and a friendly URL. Library name for your intranet website and then select the language. Then you can see that it is listing a list of pages. I'm just leaving it as default and then I'm clicking on create site. You need to install CTC before you start using the site builder tool. It takes some time to create a website. You can see that the site is created. This is an intranet site which is created by using the site builder.